I want to make a quick note here on punched or ribbon windows. Now, there's a whole tutorial on how to draw these on your facades. In the materials tutorial here, I've been showing how you can take objects and change their entire material. And that works really well for curtain walls or for, let's say this is my lobby, right? There's a lot of light that I want to bring in here, and I know that most of this wall will be glass. But let's say I drew this square window here, and let's zoom in on this object, and I want to make this a window. This is all one poly surface, and if I use the split command, it's going to ask me what I want to split and what I want to split with. Now sometimes this will work and sometimes this won't work, but you can see that there is now a surface here, and if I delete it, then I have I can see into the object. If that doesn't work, what I would recommend doing is using the trim command. So I'm going to use trim, select the cutting object, which is the window outline. Whoops, that was the wrong one, and select interior on the window. Now I can select that outline and make a planar surface from it, and I have a window there. Let's go back and use the split command again. Object to split. This is the cutting object. So now I have this window, right? I can now change the material of it to be the lobby glass. And now I sort of denote where that window will be. It's not crucial to do this. It will make maybe a slightly nicer diagram. You still have some sort of shadow issues that might be a problem. But at least denoting where your window is going to be important. So, if I want to create more windows here, this is fine for right now, especially because we're going to be going into, into Revit, and you'll have to sort of remake these things. So it actually might be better if these are all one object. What tends to happen is that we have buildings or diagrams that are sort of clones of each other. I have a more developed one and a simpler one. So I have multiple versions of the same building, and while I'm developing the building, I can, explore one iteration, which is all of these windows, and in that iteration, that's the one I would use as my diagram. But I would go back to, let's say, maybe a simpler one, and this is the one I would import into Revit, because we just need these shapes to sort of create a massing around. So in summary, if you're doing curtain walls, I would suggest changing the whole planes. Now you can also explode the object, and you can select certain planes here. Let's change this to like a default material, and then you get these large curtain walls. You can change the roof here to a default material. Maybe that's more realistic, right? So you could take poly surfaces or objects and explode them, and then change the surface materials, and then you get these large curtain walls. Or you can change sort of entire objects right now, because we are in sort of a massing stage, very conceptual stage. The more complexity you add to this, the more work you're doing that might have to be redone. Or if you're not very fast at using Rhino, then it might take you longer to figure it out. So if this was all glass, I think that would be okay. But just know when we go into Revit, we're going to have to put a roof on that, or understand how the constructability of this thing works. And if I just had a rectangle here, that's the same as that window. That's fine. So now when I go into Revit and I'm drawing a window in, or I'm placing a window in, I know that that's where it will go, and it will be 1 or 2 feet off of the floor, as opposed to actually changing the material for the diagram.